Hi everyone, Sarah here today for Brass&Bliss Craft Company, and I am going to make 2 cards. I am going to use that XOXO cover die plate. Here you see me going ahead and popping out the actual XOXOs. I'm going to keep those and I'll use them for something else. They can all be used. You're going to see me go ahead and tack this down on my glass mat, and then I'm going to add a little bit of adhesive behind here just to tack it on top of that piece of cardstock there. So I'm going to use both pieces of these for fronts of cards. So here I went ahead and pulled out some of my stencil butter in a couple colors, and I pulled the lighter one over the top. I got pink lemonade and watermelon, and then I'm just going to go ahead and finish dragging all of it all the way across. So yes, there'll be some little lines in here and scrape marks and stuff, and I'm okay with that. When it comes to mixed media, I know it's not going to be perfect, but here you see that there's 2 pieces. I didn't make you watch me clean up all of that, but I'm going to make sure to tap off all the little sides. You saw where I had to clean up the mat a little bit, and I didn't want any pokey edges hanging off the side or anything. Here, I'm going to go ahead and stick a piece of my cardstock in my MISTI, and I'm pulling out the Bear Hugs Enclosed stamp set. And I'm going to pull a couple of these bears out and a couple sayings, since I'm going to make 2 cards, and I went into this knowing I was going to make 2 cards. So I went ahead and I pulled out 2 bears. Both of them were able to be holding something, and I wanted that. So I went ahead and had the 2 sentiments, 2 bears. I had balloons for 1 bear and a mailbox for another one. And here I'm going to go ahead and stamp these. And sometimes I'm going to go ahead and do it twice, just to make sure a good clean cover, especially since I hadn't used a few of those stamps yet. This just makes it to where they stamp better. So I went ahead and grabbed my Tombow Mono. It's a light gray, just to go ahead and color the mouth, the eyebrows, and add some shadow or shading to my bears. This way they have a little color added to them, but not too much. Again, I kind of like the way that they have them on the front of the stamp packaging. I thought it was cute. I do think I'll probably play with them in different colors eventually, but right now I like the way they look. So I went ahead and did that. Here I'm going to go ahead and pull out the gray set. Let's see, what is that? That is set 12 of the Color Fuse inks. And I'm going to add the lightest one down on my craft mat, and then the third one as well on my craft mat, just to add some shadow and shading to the inside of the mailbox, the light gray for the outside of the mailbox. Here I'm going ahead and grabbing one of the browns from set number 3 to go ahead and use for the post of that mailbox. Added it where there was less water added in when I did the shading for the bottom or the top of the stick coming out of the mailbox. And then here, the last set that I grab is set number 4. And this is the pinks and reds. And I'm going ahead and adding the lightest pink with more water added for the ears and the cheeks. And then I'm going to go in and do this first balloon with the lightest pink. And then I'll go in and pull the other colors and add it to the rest of the balloons. And I add shadowing, doing the same way as I had done previously. More ink for when I first color, or more water for when I first color them in. And then less water when I decide to add that, the shadow to it. That way it has, it actually looks more like, a little shadow. It's a little more condensed and stuff when you add it down like that. Here I went ahead and added a little more because I wanted the lighter one to have a little bit better of a shadow. And then I used this one to go ahead and color in the hearts on the mail that's in the box and the one that my bear is going to hold. So here I'm making sure, checking to see if they're dry. This one is dry faster because I had scraped more off of it. It wasn't as thick. And so I'm trying to figure out what color card I'm going to put this on. And this is actually, it's not quite white, but it's a shimmer cardstock. And I'm going to cut down this piece of acetate to go ahead and go behind my XOXO cover plate, because of course I'm going to make a shaker. Why not? It's gorgeous. So I was going to put it down with tape, but then realized it's a thin area, so I went ahead and used some of my glue and put it in between the lines and everything. So this would hold that acetate down really well as it is. And so I'm just going to hold it down for a second, make sure it holds together well, take a drink of my coffee, and check it out. And then I'm going to have to grab my foam adhesive, and I'm going to have to cut it in half because it is quite thin where I need to have this. And so I'm going to go ahead and cut my foam adhesive, and I am going to start laying it around the outside because I still want it to look nice and clean in case someone sees it from the side. So I made sure that the actual flat sides were put towards the outside. I put a couple pieces in between as well, but not enough for it to stop the sequins that I just poured in from moving around. Again, to everybody else, they probably have better ways to do this, but I went ahead and just dumped all the sequins inside, and I will place my card base on it here in just a minute. So here I am trying to go ahead and put that card base on. I didn't push it down hard enough to where I couldn't move it if I needed to. And so I went ahead and did that because I did not get it on there straight. So here I think, okay, I'm going to line it up with the grid on my glass mat, and that worked perfectly. So I went ahead and looked at it. It was fine. I was able to go ahead and press it down good, shake it, and make sure that everything was working like it was supposed to. And then here I am. I'm going to go ahead and fussy cut out my bears. I hadn't decided until this point what I was going to put on what card, but I decided I was going to go ahead and put the mailbox and my little guy mailing his letter. So I'm going to go ahead and fussy cut these guys out. There are dies for these. Not a big deal for me. I'm okay with fussy cutting, but you can go to the website and you can get the dies for these along with the stamps. So I'll have the linked below and everything like that as well. So I went ahead and cut along the hand area and glued the envelope into my bear's hand. Just that way it looks like he's smiling and he's going to mail his letter. So that's what was in my head, the little story I was telling, in my own head, getting this card ready to go. So here I have two sentiments, and I hadn't decided which one I was going to use yet. So I'm just kind of trimming them out here. Just a rough trim on these. And here I'm fixing to take my scissors and I'm going to fussy cut around it. And this one's going to say Bear Hugs Enclosed. And I kind of thought that was cute. It worked with the mailing the letters, just sending love. And I thought that was perfect for this. So I went ahead and fussy cut that out. And I'm going to stick it all down there towards the bottom of the card. I like the shaker being able to be seen and everything. And then the little bear and mailing the package or envelope is just cute. And it's right there front and center. So I went ahead and set my sentiment down there at the bottom and kind of made it to where everything was standing right there. So I am done with that card. I'm going to clean up a little bit of my mess and then start fussy cutting for the second card. And I am going to actually pull in another die from the website, and I'll have it linked below as well. But it is a Polaroid, and I thought that it would work great for this one. So I'm going to go ahead and finish fussy cutting these balloons out. They're so cute. And I'm going to fussy cut the little bear out. And then I will go ahead and do my sentiment as well. And I'll go ahead and at the end of these, at the end of this sentiment, I do the banner or the fishtail. I just keep calling it the fishtail. But I do that to the ends of both of these because I already knew at this point what my idea was and where it was going to go. So I'm making sure that it is dry because I did touch it earlier and left a little smudge. I went ahead and cut around the hand area here again on this bear, and I'm going to go ahead and slide it to where it looks like the balloons are in the bear's hand, and then it's stuck right behind the bear's head. Here I'm grabbing some gold glitter cardstock, and I'm going to cut it down, and then I'm going to run it through my Sizzix with the Polaroid Tabbed die set. And I went ahead and I'm going to glue this little guy to the back side of it and the balloons to the front side of it. And I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to add some 3D foam behind all of it. That way it's got some dimension added to the card since the other one was already popped up. because I made it into a shaker. I wanted a little bit of dimension to this because I knew I was going to be sticking that XOXO one that I had made with the stencil butter just to the card base itself. I wasn't popping that up, and I knew that. So here I went ahead and added some 3D foam behind all of that, and add some to the back of the bear so it pops up. And after I do that, I'm going to go ahead and make sure that it'll go where I want. I'm going to add some liquid adhesive to the back of this because it is going on that glitter cardstock, and I want to make sure it sticks. And here I added a little more adhesive to the back of the banner so that they won't fall down. Making sure I like where it's going. I'm going to trim the edges off because there was some more of that stencil butter on the edges because of using the other one as a stencil. I'm going to go ahead and add my adhesive here, and then I will tack this down to the front of that card base. There we go. And when I go ahead and add this little bear and the frame, I will make sure to use liquid adhesive on the back of the foam, because with the fact that there is texture and different levels, it will make it to where it actually sticks. And because if you stuck it down with just the adhesive, just the foam, it would not stick completely. It would come up eventually. But that is the end of my 2 cards. I did tilt that last one at an angle. I really hope that you enjoy these. Make sure to check out Brass&Bliss and the website that's linked below. And I hope that you have a great day. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.